All right, so we are going to learn about OSI layer today, and OSI layer is very important. It is very important because this is how you learn how the data communicates in a computer, right? So if I am sending you an email, right? If I am sending you an email, do you know how that email is transported to you? So for example, if I have a computer, so this is a computer, right? And this is another computer. So if this computer is sending an email to this computer, or this computer is sending a file to this computer, um, there is a process that is happening. There is something that is happening when a data is sent. So in your computer, you have a um, network connection, then you have a cable from which the data is going. So all those are part of like this communication system. So we will learn uh, in today's lesson what is OSI model, right? OSI stands for Open System Interconnection. It is basically a framework that explains how devices communicate in a network, right? So whenever you send a message from computer A to computer B, right now I am talking, I am sending a message to you. So the framework or the process that is happening, it is basically happening through a framework, and that framework defines like how devices can talk to each other. Like my computer is talking to your computer, and your computer is then talking to my computer. So that's how we are connected. And when we connect, we go through different steps. When the data starts going out of your computer, it starts going out of a first layer, second layer, third layer, four, five, six, seven, because each of them has its own duty. Each of them performs a job, right? So that's how it works. And remember, if you study OSI layer the best way, you will be able to work in IT very, very well. You will be able to troubleshoot very well. You will be able to help resolve problems very easily because OSI is the concept that helps the IT professionals, IT people understand how a data moves from one place into another place, right? So how the data moves from your computer and then reaches the destination where you're sending the data, right? So that's why OSI model is very important concept to understand. If you understand it well, you will be able to basically be a very good in IT. You will be very good in IT because you know how the data moves. So when you know how the data moves from one device to another device, you will be able to um, understand bits and pieces, like the parts of it, and that's how you will be able to help um, yourself by working more efficiently. All right. So, understood the concept? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Saurabh, understood? Okay. All right. So purpose is to help organize network functions into layer, making it easier to understand, troubleshoot, and build network. Like I already explained that each role or each layer has its own role. For example, in your company, finance officer has its own role, right? Finance officer has its own role. Um, um, like cook has its own role. Accounting has its own role. So the OSI model, the 7 layers, each layer has its own job. Each of it performs a task, right? So let's get it started and see. So why, if someone asks you why OSI model is important, I already explained it to you why it's important. It's important because if you know OSI model, you know how the data moves, right? You know how the data moves, how the data goes from the source to destination, the every part, every piece, you know it. When you know it, you will be able to learn more easily how devices communicate with each other, and you will be able to resolve the problem much efficiently. And you are able to help troubleshoot network issues very easily because you know how the data works, how the data moves from one computer to another or one device to another device. So that's very important to understand. Um, so uh, the easiest way to learn 7 layers of the OSI model is please do not throw sausage pizza away. Okay, so please do not throw sausage pizza away. So this is, remember. So a lot of time when you're trying to learn OSI model, and if someone asks you, can you name all OSI models? And you're like, I don't know, I forgot. So in that case, what you can do is you can learn this phrase, please do not throw sausage pizza away. And please is like the word P, which is physical layer. Do is data link layer. Not is network layer. Throw is transport layer. Sausage is session layer. And then pizza is presentation layer. And then away is application layer. Okay. So please do not throw sausage pizza away is how you learn the names, because some of us sometimes it's hard to remember names, right? So that's how you can learn it. Please do not throw sausage pizza away. Make sense?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we got physical layer, um, and when we say physical layer, it basically deals with raw data transmission over cables, Wi-Fi, fiber optics, right? So, so for example, um, uh, physical layer is basically the cable. Okay. So physical layer is basically the cable. It could be Wi-Fi. Right now your computer or your phone is connected through Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi like the Wi-Fi signals that you have from which the data is moving, that is physical layer, okay? And or the cable, like have you ever seen the cable, like network cable, Cat5 cable? Have you seen before?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that is physical, part of physical layer because it's a cable. Um, Most of you go to school. In your school, do you have like a cable that you connect to your computer network port?
Yes, sir. I saw the computer network, and also I can make the connectors also for the Cat 5 and 6 cable.
Who, let me show you something. Do you see this cable on the screen?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
This is the network cable. This is how the network cable looks like. Okay? And and this is how those wires are. So this is the network cable, and these are the wires. That's how the wires looks like. And and the packet moves from these cables, and this is part of what? Physical layer. So this is what? Physical layer. Okay? This is physical layer. Have you heard the name of fiber optic cable?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Who knows about fiber optic cable?
Fiber optic cable is made with the glass, and the data flow in the fiber optic in the light, like
So this is a fiber optic cable example. So what is fiber optic cable? The packet is um, transmitted through light. Through light, the packets are transmitted through light. That's why fiber optic cables are very fast. Uh, the internet connection that you have at home, like Comcast, right? They have fiber optic cables on the road, like they dug the road, and they basically have the wiring, and those are fiber optic cables. Because fiber optic cables provides like higher speed. It really provides higher speed because it uses light to transmit the data. Any question? Fiber optic is part of physical layer because it is the raw data that is transmitted over the cable. Okay? Hashmat, are you understanding the concept?
Yes.
Okay. Then we have data link layer. The job of the data link layer is what? Is to make sure that when you send the data from one device to another device, it's error free. Like there are like no errors, problems, right? Error. So that is the job of data link layer. Um, In your CCNA class, you will learn in depth, but I want to give you a general knowledge here because it is the IT fundamental. So, so for example, if you take like a real life example, data link layer is like a traffic light that organizes traffic. So what is the job of traffic light? When it's red, car stop. When it's green, car goes. When it's orange, what happens? The cars make sure that they need to get ready to stop because it's gonna turn red. Then we have network layer. Network layer determine the best path for data to travel using IP addresses and routers. So the job of the network layer is to make sure when you send the data is basically going through the best route. Let's take an example uh, of Hashmat and Shahid here.
Yes, sir.
So, Hashmat, this is your car, right? This is your car. Think that it is a packet. So, this is a packet. This is a data. This is a packet data or email. Let's say email, data, file, anything. And then this is Shahid, right? So this is how you connected to Shahid, and there is another way you're connected to Shahid, and then another way connected to Shahid. So basically, you have like three different paths. So the first one is physical layer. So this is where if this is a cable, this is your physical layer. Data link layer will make sure what? When the packet is gonna go, it checks it. It checks your packet to make sure that it is error free. There are no errors. On the network, it's going to do what? It's going to determine, it's going to find the best path. So this path is 1.2 miles. This path is 1.4 miles. This path is 1.6 miles. Through this path, you will get in 5 minutes. You can go in 5 minutes. Through this path, you can go in 5 minutes. Through this path, you can go in 6 minutes. All right. And let's say there is another path. So I'm just going to add another path as an example. So this is 1.4 as well, but this is 10 minutes. So now, Anwar, you are you are the network layer. You are the network layer. Which path should Hashmat take to send the packet to Shahid?
1.2.
Now I ask Anwar.
I think 1.2. Oh no.
Okay, good. At least try. Good job, Anwar. Uh, so who can tell me which path, but you have to tell me why.
We use 1.2 uh, paths for data transmission because it's the near destination, and the router select that because it's we can send it faster than other paths, than other cable.
So this is 1.2 miles. It's you can go there in 5 minutes. This is 1.4 miles. You can go in 5 minutes, right? So this is 6 minutes. This is 10 minutes. So we will choose 1.2 miles, 5 minutes, because this is the best route. Why is it the best route? Because it's 2 minus 2 less. This is like plus 2, right? It's zero point 0.2 more. It's okay that it's still 5 minutes. This route is 5 minutes, but this is 1.2. You're saving zero point 0.2 minutes, and it is still the same what? Same timing. So now, Mukhtar, you acted as what? Network layer here. You determined the best path for us, and you told us, Hashmat, I am the network layer. I am going to take your data and send it to Shahid using this route because this is the best route. And this is the job of who? The job of network layer. Make sense? No?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And the router works on layer 3?
Router works on layer 3, works on IP. All right. So after that, we have transport layer. Transport layer ensures complete data delivery using protocol like TCP, UDP. Okay. So the job of transport layer is to what? To make
Deliver data?
sure, to make sure that the data is there. Like it does the acknowledgement, right? It does the acknowledgement. So, for example, this was Hashmat, this was Shahid, and we said we will choose this route. So whenever the packet is sent, let me ask you one question. Um, Whenever you send an email, how many of you have sent email?
I think all
Have you
of us.
ever sent email?
Yes.
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 Everyone? Anyone
Yeah.
here who did not? Okay. Let me ask you one question. When you send an email and you press send, do you see a notification down where it says your email is sent?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes.
And
It gave us the confirmation.
yes, it gives you a confirmation, right? And if your email is not sent, it tells you that your email didn't go, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
same thing. Same thing. When you send a message in Facebook, when it is sent, it says delivered. It writes delivered. And when someone sees it, you see that their icon, right? Their picture that basically tells you that this guy saw my message, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And if your message didn't go, you will see like a red sign where it says message didn't transfer.
Yes, sir.
Uh, That is the job of transport layer. Transport layer ensures the what? Ensures the
Delivery of data. And
delivery of your data. Yes. Okay. So the acknowledgement that you get that your message is sent, your message is not sent, your message go, your message did go or didn't go. It is the job of transport layer. So the job of transport layer is what? To ensure that the data delivery is complete and provide acknowledgement. Okay? Make sense?
yeah, it makes sense. Well, Parviz, I have a question that there is TCP and UDP. TCP is connection oriented and UDP is connectionless. And the transport layer is work based on that.
Yes. Transport layer uses TCP and UDP.
Okay, thank you.
Session layer. Let me ask you another question. Have you played online games?
Yes.
Yes, sir, sometimes.
Um, when you play when you play online games like Fortnite is one, and you are very active and you're playing, and you keep playing and playing, and when you move, the character moves and all those things are happening, um, and then suddenly your internet goes down. You get a message that session timeout, right?
Yes.
Yes,
No internet.
yes, sir. Right.
Great. So during the time when you are playing game, there is a session from your computer to the game server. That's why you're live, you're playing, you're just hitting and then doing whatever you do on Fortnite. Or like you're playing FIFA, right? You're playing FIFA with your friend like it's a live game. Uh, so there is a session created from your computer or from your PlayStation to the game server, to the FIFA server, to the Fortnite server, and that's how you're playing live, you're playing actively. Like whenever you change character, you jump and it jumps, and then you talk with your friends, all like you're talking with your friend. It's work it That is basically a session that is established between you and the other side. Right now I'm talking to you. There is a session created between you and me. And if my internet goes down, boom, it's dropped. The session will time out and you will not see me. But you all will be able to keep connected. So this is a session that is created. When you go to google.com, you access google.com, and then you click on links. You search something, how to cook chicken biryani. You click on links, right? And then you go there, and then you see the recipe. All that time that you are in Google, you have a session established with Google. That's why you're clicking, opening, clicking, opening, clicking, opening. So that is where the session layer works. So session layer makes sure that all the active sessions that you have is maintained, right? It's maintained. So if there is no session layer, you will not be able to even play Fortnite or do anything because session layer is no longer working, right? So that is the job of session layer. So real life example is when you call someone, you're talking to that person. When you hang up, you end the call, it means you ended the session, right? It's a real life example.
Yes.
So then we have presentation layer. Presentation layer is where um, the data formatting, encryptions, and then um, it translates data for application, right? So so you know that um, when the data is passed, it needs to be formatted in the right way so that it's presented the right way. Um, if you want to have a better security, you can do the encryption as well. So and the application. right? So if you have an application like this Zoom application we have here, is an application that is talking through the internet. So it requires a presentation layer so that the formatting is done, encryption is done, and basically you're able to understand it, right? So it is like a translator that converts one language to another so that both people can understand it, correct? So that is the job of presentation layer. And then application layer, it's like your browser, your email application, the other applications. Like you have different applications on your computer, you have different applications on your phone. You have like browser, Google Chrome, Safari, Edge browser. Those are all example of application layer. So application layer is where your application works. Okay. So that is where you use the OSI model. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So fun real life example of each layer. Just real life example. Physical layer is where you have wires and Wi-Fi signals. Uh, Imagine two people talking through a string telephone. The string telephone is the physical medium that carries sound and data. Do you know string telephone? Do you know string telephone? Do you
Like
know
a
string telephone?
wireless, like a wireless set or
Yeah,
walkie-talkie.
I do.
Here, it's a very old technology,
I didn't see.
right? It's a very old technology. Okay, so this
Yeah.
is one example of a string telephone. You see, they're teaching in school. This is a string telephone. So physical layer. So this cable that you see here, this is a medium, right? This is a medium, media where, so this is what? This is a physical layer. Data link layer, think of a car license plate on highway. The license plate is what? The MAC address, which identifies specific car. Let me ask you one question. In California, do you see a car that has same license number?
No.
No, right? So that's why each computer has a license number, and that is called MAC address, and that is unique. So 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 in here, um, it's where you the data link layer makes sure that it's error free. Network layer. Think of sending a letter through postal system like USPS, UPS, FedEx. The postal service checks the address, right? When you send a mail, they always check for address. They ask for address, right? What is your address? And what is the other side? Where are you sending it to? You have to provide that. And that address is like an IP address. And then if you're sending it to basically Texas, um, and they basically find the best path, best route. How best can I send it so that it's gonna take the best path, the fastest, the shortest path. So transport layer example is like sending a box of puzzle pieces through the mail. The transport layer makes sure all pieces arrive and in the right order. And then if there is like a missing packet loss, it asks for resend. It checks for acknowledgement. It makes sure that it's basically going to get there the right way. Session layer is it's basically if you're logging into your bank account. When you're in your bank account, checking your bank balance and all those things, during the time that you're in there, you're basically creating a session with your bank account. And when you say sign out, the session ended. So that session, who is managing it? Session layer. Session layer, which is part of the OSI layer, it's managing it. Okay? So then we have presentation layer. So in presentation layer, for example, if you receive a PDF in another language, for example, you have a PDF file, Adobe PDF, that is in Chinese language, right? So the presentation layer will translate it into English. Okay? So that is the job of it. If a video is compressed, this layer decompress it for small, smooth playback. And then application layer is again like all your applications like Google Chrome, WhatsApp, and all others. Okay? All right. So let's play a game. Are you guys ready?
Yes, sir.
Give me a second. Who wants to play a game?
Yes, sir.
Sir, I think
I'm on
I'm
physical layer.
router.
Okay, just type which layer you are in the you need to be one of the layers. Okay, Sorab is physical layer, Shahid is network layer.
Transport layer.
Just choose one, okay? Write it on the chat. Elias is session layer. Zubair is application layer. Mukhtar is presentation layer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need two more. Hashmat. Hashmat is application layer. What is left? Write it down on chat, Hashmat. Application layer. What is left? Um, Presentation, application, session, network,
Data
physical.
link.
Okay, yeah, data link. But Elias, you already took session, so data link. Who's gonna take data link? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, Yama, you took data link. Okay, good. So now make sure you remember your role, okay? Give me a second. Okay. So, so this is how we will play it. Um, so each of you already have a layer assigned, right? And you already know your layer. Make sure that you remember that. Um, Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send a message. I'm going to send a message in the chat, and now once I send it, each of you will, when I say hello, how are you, it means that I send this hello, how are you from my computer, right? I typed it and then I'm trying to send it to you, right? Through Zoom. Now it is it is the it is the job of physical layer now. For example, um, give me a second. Okay. So physical layer is Sorab, and Sorab will now turn on the camera and explain how it simulates an OSI model. Okay.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that back real quick?
So when we say hello, how are you? If you're physical layer, right?
Mm-hmm.
How is physical layer simulated? Can you quickly go and talk through it?
Uh, yeah. The physical layer, um, it's responsible for the physical connection between devices and the transmission of raw data over a network medium.
Okay.
It,
Examples?
uh, like some of the key functions, or sorry, some of the examples could be like wired connections, like Ethernet cables and fiber optics, like you said. Wireless technologies like Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and radio waves, and like networking devices like hubs, repeaters, and network adapters.
Okay. So wire, Wi-Fi, fiber optics, right?
Mm-hmm.
So data link layer. So your task is, oh, Saurabh, we forgot to simulate your task. So if you turn off your camera,
Mm-hmm.
it means it means that it means that the connection is down, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's like disconnecting cable. If your Wi-Fi is on, it's active.
Okay. So
So
like.
yes. So data link layer, Ilyas, you need to check for errors. So the job of data link layer is to check for errors. It's basically do what? Repeat the message in chat to confirm it was received correctly. Can you repeat the message in chat to confirm it was received correctly? Did you get my message? What was it? What was my message? hello, how are you? Yes, right? So my message was, hello, how are you? To, so you wrote it down back. This is where you made sure that it is error free. And if the message I sent, for example, I sent, hello, how are you? But data link layer got it, how are you? Hello missing. So what is Ilyas, the data link layer, going to do? It's going to check for errors to make sure the message is transferred completely, right? So that is the job of what? Data link layer. So Shahid, network layer, you
Yes.
are going to decide the best route.
Yes, sir. Going
So
to decide best route, and it's the layer three network layer, and router works on layer three, and they send the data on the IP based, and it uses two different protocols like TCP IP and UDP. TCP IP like transmission control packet, internet packets, and UDP like user datagram protocol. In the TCP IP based, it gives the acknowledgement the data when the data is sent, but in the UDP, it's not give the acknowledgement, but it's more faster than TCP. In UDP, it's just a broadcast of data like the TV broadcasting. If somewhere we cannot see uh, the transmission, uh, so it's not give
okay,
the acknowledgement.
cool. So so your job is a network layer, and your job is to choose the best route.
Best shortest route.
Yes. So transport layer, who is transport layer? No one? Who wants to
Yeah,
volunteer?
I'm pretty sure no one was transport layer.
Who will pick transport layer? Okay, I'm going to pick the transport layer. So the job of the transport layer is to do what? What is the
And
job of transport layer?
Delivery of data.
Delivery of data, right?
Okay, should I
Deli
explain?
No, you don't have to explain because I already did. The transport layer makes sure all pieces arrives and in the right order, right? All
Yes.
pieces. So now, Sorab, can you send hello, comma, and Mukhtar, can you send how are you? Question mark after Sorab sends hello.
yeah, sure. I just sent it right now.
Okay, and can you send how are you? Question mark, Mukhtar. Cool. So now Sorab and Mukhtar, they are transport layer. They made sure that the data is received into different pieces and it arrives. So now hello is one piece, how are you is another piece, right? So hello is one piece, how are you is another piece. So session layer is for Ilyas. Um, so now session layer is where um, now what we will do is we will make sure Ilyas is keeping track of the session layer. So now the best way to simulate this is because we are not running into any issues right now, but um, if one of you disconnects from the Zoom call and come back? Saurabh, can you disconnect from Zoom and come back?
Yeah, sure. Okay, I'm gonna disconnect now.
So now what Saurabh did is Saurabh disconnected, right? In purpose, but sometimes it's not in purpose. Sometimes it's automatic because your internet drops, your internet is not working, your internet disconnects, right?
Or
And
maybe
then,
maybe set this timeline, how long
yeah,
we can stay
Oh,
active.
there you
yeah,
go.
there you go. So Saurabh is back. So a lot of time, the job, what Saurabh did is a lot of time, the session layer will do what? Will, when Saurabh disconnects, it will automatically rejoin Saurabh, because that is the job of session layer. So presentation layer uh, is Mukhtar. So
Yeah.
changes text format, converts the message to uppercase, emojis, or another language. Um, so go over
Yes.
it.
We can like Google Translate, uh, changing the language. For example, English word to daddy. It's also like a presentation layer. Work like a presentation layer uh, to the user and help user, and it can be understood.
Cool. Yeah, so it does the formatting so that it is understandable. Application layer.
Yes, I think application layer provides source for communication. Like we sending our message through Zoom to each other, browsers.
Okay.
Mhm.
So application layer is where you use what? You use applications, right? So
Application. Yeah,
um,
and I think it provides a source for communication. Like we are sending our message through Zoom for each other. It's
source for communication. Yeah, and that
yeah.
source is
Mhm.
application.
Yeah,
So so you have Zoom, you have WhatsApp, you have web
yeah,
browser, you have
mhm.
Facebook Messenger. All those are applications.
Right,
It
right,
is a source for communication, and those sources are called applications.
right.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So how much did you learn about OSI layer today?